Hey, live. So as I always start, oh, this is Lawrence, by the way.
Hi guys.
So what I always do is I start with a minute of silence before I do my thing. So if you want to join me, or do whatever you want to feel comfortable, you can close my eyes. Moment, take it.
Oh, that was it.
Cool. I always do that because I like to separate the thing I did before to the thing I'm about to do, and I feel like for me it helps because it does separate and it gives me the moment to say that not everything is connected and I don't need to rush through everything. Like I catch my breath between tasks.
Oh, okay.
So that's what helps me.
I think
So this is Lawrence. This is one of my friends for over 10 years now. Lawrence, tell us about yourself.
So much stuff. Creative in the media sense of podcasting, Twitch, YouTube, photography, filmmaking, the whole shebang, shaboo. I am putting out my first book in August.
Nice,
you guys heard it first. It is called To the Boy Who Grew Up. It is going to be 15 poems and 15 photos that I have taken over the course of the last however many years. I Twitch stream. I am actually going live at 5 on my Twitch, which is at Taos by Law, Taos by Law. Currently playing Final Fantasy, though I am starting Disco Elysium today.
Disco Elysium, what's that?
So apparently it's a very life-altering game. Is kind of like the general gist of what I've been getting from Atlas and a few other people who have played it, so I'm excited to try it out.
Okay.
And we have Nerds. Nerds is one of the
Nerds of the Round.
Nerds of the Round, which we've been on before. We are talking Loki tonight.
Loki.
We'll be live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook at 9 Eastern Standard if you guys want to talk Loki and all that good fun stuff. And yeah, and then we have the D&D podcast. Jesus, which is the Medusa Cascade
Chronicles as well. Or no?
Collateral Damage.
Collateral Damage.
Yeah. Chronicles is wrapping up. That should be coming out towards the end of this year. That and Relics of the Past, two that are DM'd by our buddy Bulletproof Turtle Man, aka Turt. And I have new episodes of the Art of Storytelling podcast.
Yeah, dude.
Season 3 is out now, but new episodes are being recorded once I get people scheduled and recorded.
So I'm really glad you said all those things, because the first thing that comes to my mind is, how do you get all that stuff done? What helps you get into the groove?
Oh, man. Writing stuff down a lot. Writing stuff down.
We've spoken about that.
Yes. So I've now set up my desk area in my room where before I didn't really have an office focus space. Now I have a little desk area. I have a whiteboard where I go this is the immediate task whiteboard. So write it down. Remember, I gotta do that. I haven't even wrote tighten the screws on your chair because I'll forget to tighten the screws on my chair.
Nice.
And then I have a little bunch of post-it notes scattered because my brain is scattered. But they're somehow organized. It's piles
It's your chaos.
It is my
chaos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then just having things written down. I have a calendar whiteboard now. So things that are visual for me and constantly help a lot. And then to once I'm in the process, all right, I'm going to start something. Music has helped. Music has always helped. I got Spotify Premium recently, so I can get back into that. I also just doing things that not so much that they're distracting, but they take me out of what I'm doing.
Okay.
So if I am feeling like I don't want to work right now, I would literally pull the plug on whatever I'm working on and just watch mindless entertainment or play a video game, do something completely, 180 of what I'm doing.
A break from it.
Yeah, a break from it.
Not really even a break, just a break from it.
Right.
You know when to step back.
When I need inspiration for writing, I usually try to find things in media that I already like. So like Sense8, I love, and I'm rewatching.
Sense8, dude.
To get inspiration for an upcoming D&D campaign, of all things. So there's that.
Nice.
Just pulling from sources of things that I enjoy and trying to stick to the things that I enjoy in life.
Nice. So can we do an exercise of something that...
No.
Yeah! What he means by no
and I'm done. Bye. I was just here to promo my own shit.
End of video. So just for maybe 5 minutes of a time, we'll put on something music-wise.
Lo-fi.
Now, what would be great is that they don't need to hear it. It's just that we're doing it, because also copyright issues and all that kind of stuff.
I'll actually
just put your headphones on.
Headphone us.
Yep.
I don't know if you would like to partake in
I'll partake, of course. Absolutely. 5 minutes. So like, if you have you can put a timer on your phone, 5 minutes. And before you start, also disclaimer. Sorry for the noise, but whatever. It's just this is more important that you see what the productivity is versus like need to experience the whole thing. So if you get from this that setting aside 5 minutes for yourself with some lo-fi will help you, that's success.
For me, music has always been important for creating.
Yeah.
But it depends on what I'm creating. So if I would like to be inspired to write certain levels of poetry or certain stories, then I'll probably listen to a soundtrack from a movie or like a score.
Something you've heard before and you liked, or just even brand new?
It could be a mix of both.
Okay.
But something score, something epic, like those kind of things get me hyped to write. Like
so you know that about yourself.
I know that about myself.
Okay, so figure out things that you like about whatever, and that help put you in the mood of getting productive. Cool. High five, hand hug. That's our thing.
Yes.
You can take it if you want, but it won't be
Go
ours.
for
It'll just be ours.
It's a version of
ours.
So
do you also start with knowing or a rough idea of like what you're gonna write about, or do you just like put it on and go?
Sometimes.
So like right now, how you feel? Do you want to know? Or
right now, going in hot.
You're going in hot.
Blind.
Okay. It's good that I said that because I am working on a song. I'm doing a song a day, and that's what I'm going to be working on at this moment. So we're going to put some lo-fi hip hop on, 5 minutes, and see what happens. Right. Starting in a few minutes. Also timer. All right. And you can watch the process or skip forward 5-6 minutes to listen to what we uncovered. Do you feel comfortable sharing what you write to at the end? Yeah? Okay, I'm going to share too. All right. So let me know when to start. I can start. Hey, we're starting.
Sorry, my bad.
Okay.
little bit more because we started a little bit later.
If you want to do a few extra seconds, you can. If not, up to
do
you.
another 10 seconds.
Go ahead, 10 seconds. How was that for you?
Okay.
Also, my favorite thing is all the chairs being pushed right now.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Listen to the sounds of my city.
These are our lullabies.
Absolutely.
So how do you feel that was for you?
It was good.
Yeah. Would you have wanted more time?
Probably.
Yeah.
So, for me, typically writing. So I didn't realize I was gonna write a poem until I started writing.
Yeah.
But usually I feel like I can get a finished piece in 20 minutes. Like that's usually and
wow.
It could be short, it could be long, but 20 minutes has always been like my turnaround since in like high school.
Okay.
It's very rare like if it's like a longer or shorter kind of thing.
Okay.
But like a poem like you've heard Rain took 20 minutes. And that was prompted by a friend who just needed a poem about rain or wanted to hear me do a poem about rain. And I was like, sure.
I love it. You dropped some poetry on that. You made a hail.
Oh, now?
No, you made a hail.
Oh, I made a
for
hail.
me,
Gotcha.
it was fun. I realized when the music came, it influenced me to have like a kind of rapish cadence to it. So it was different than the song, but it was good because it got me to say something I wanted to say that I wasn't saying while writing it in song format. So that was cool. And I actually think it's really funny. We started with 5 minutes and wanted to do more. And I feel like maybe one of the things I see people struggling with, and especially myself, I'm always like, I want to do 30 minutes. I want to do an hour. And I get stressed that 30 minutes and an hour is like too much. But when you do five is not like goes by so fast and it gets you into it. So doing smaller time limits might actually get you to do more in the long run than doing more at first.
Like setting up like goals of like I want to write and I'm gonna write for 30 minutes versus I need to write 5 paragraphs in 30 minutes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like you're not forcing a certain. You're just whatever you can get is what you're gonna get.
Okay, in 30 minutes.
In 30 minutes.
If it's 2 sentences, whatever. I did 2 sentences in 30 minutes. Great.
Yeah.
So it's not you're not gonna feel bad at the end for lacking the -5 paragraphs.
Right.
Great.
Because I've written in 20 minutes a whole piece and thrown out the entire piece, like right then and there. I'm like, that was cool, and and I'll just start all over again.
Yeah.
Either the piece felt too familiar to another piece, or it was just not a piece that I felt was one of my best ones.
Does it feel good to throw it away?
It's been a while.
Since
could. So last I remember, I feel like the feeling wasn't so much that it feels good to throw it away, but it feels like, like almost like I know you can do better.
Okay. Would you save your stuff and then go back to like this? I've done all of this stuff. Well, could you go back to all the things you've thrown out and see it and be wow, I did so much, even though it wasn't like productive. It still was in some way because you did it.
Well,
like
I
you
would
did.
feel,
You
I
had
would,
this
I would
stat.
feel that it's productive, but it's not conducive to what I'm doing.
Right. But instead of like needing to show it publicly, just see like would it be positive for you to see all the things you've done?
Yeah. I mean, it's
because it's so easy to throw it away and go, I've done nothing. Like that was a waste of time.
Sure. Yeah. Because part of me is like, I don't need to see it to know that I've done something.
Okay, good.
Today.
So I'm very.
But at the same time, when you said, you throw it away and you're like, I didn't do anything today. That feeling is also very married to that that action.
Man. Yeah, and then when it's for me, when it's visual, when it's there, it doesn't matter if I feel like I didn't do anything because the proof is in the pudding. It's literally right there, so I can't say I didn't do anything. I did something, it just didn't work for me at that moment. So I've been trying whatever, like everything I have here. There's lots of stuff in here that doesn't work, but for me, what's amazing is I did that much in a week. Like this is just a week of writing, literally writing every day. And so that, like, if I threw this out, I wouldn't see the progress. Because I only see the progress when it's out there and perfect, like the polished, the finished thing.
Yeah.
It's like, look, I did 2 songs. Well, I wrote 100 bad songs. I wrote 102 songs, right?
Yeah.
That's different to me.
It's so that's where like it reminds me of like this past year. This past year, I feel like I haven't done a lot. And I've taken a lot of time to rest and recuperate and just get myself back together with. And I looked back and started all these projects again, and I was like, oh, I've either still been doing some elements of the work to keep myself like on track, or before I did so much work that I can take the time off, and by the time I got back to it, I was way more ahead than I thought I was.
That's great.
So like now, you know, when I'm like, oh snap, I have like 90% of a book done, I'm like,
when did that happen?
When in the world did I have time to do that?
Yeah, right.
You know, for me to think that's the finished product.
Sure. Do you mind sharing what you wrote? And I'll do it too. If whoever wants to go first, doesn't bother me.
I said the name of my book is To the Boy Who Grew Up. So a lot of my last pieces that I've been writing have been very reflective of like me and the like younger version of myself. No title, but
Untitled is the title of every artist's work.
That was the name of the book,
right?
Until I shared it with Tommy, and he said that the name of the book should be the name of the last poem, which is To the Boy Who Grew Up. And I was like, I was like, that's actually so.
Pause for a second. When I was looking for a name for my Instagram thing, I couldn't figure out what it was. I was like, hit record, just hit record, and you said you already have the name.
Right.
Do you remember exactly what you said?
Me presently.
Me presently. I was like, oh my, like, I want to do an Instagram or a YouTube thing of being present and like, like I was. This is how I was describing it. I was like, I want to be present. I want to show people that you can just show up and do something and have fun with it. You don't need to be special. You literally just need to put the time and give yourself the love and space to do that thing. And I'm like, I can't come up with a name. And you're like, that's so weird that you can't come up because it's right. You have it.
You did that already.
Yeah. I'm like, sheesh. I was like, so I wasn't being present in that moment. I was thinking like about future and about like how good this thing can be and like how catchy the name has to be and how cool it has to be. It's like all these things, and you were just like, it's the last thing. It's like your Instagram, which is you every day. It says me presently, and I was like, yeah. I was so annoyed. I was so annoyed that I was like, it's just there. It was so easy.
I mean,
it's nice to see from another point of view, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like
well,
getting from another person.
I think the ability to do that, like to have a second, or at least let me rephrase all that. Having people in your life and in your circle who have the ability to just go, hey,
yeah, just
right there, and I'm like, how'd you find that?
I was looking for it everywhere.
It's like, yeah. So,
but he did it for you, and I'm like just pointing out you did it for me. So another thing that you can do for yourself is have others around you that you're open to listening to and hearing what they have to say, because they can see things that you often either take for granted or that you already have, but because you have it's automatic, like you don't even pay attention to it, and they're just like hit you in the forehead real quick. It's like, look at this. It just like it's right there. It's like on your forehead. Anyway, so having said all that,
all right. Lately, I've worked on being happy, because deep down there's a small child who's sad. He needs a hug. He needs love. He wants to feel seen. He wants to believe that he is something more. Little boy who doesn't cry, I need you to know that it's okay to do so. More so, it's okay to let go. Your tears locked up and pent up when release caused monsoons. And sweet child, a little rain can go a long way, but too much can drown the soil. I know it may not seem it, but things will get better. Chin up, happy thoughts, rain today for the flowers tomorrow.
I like it. So a friend of mine pointed out to me a lot of my songs have had the element of change or water in it. So the fact that you have water, and this actual has mine as well, has a metaphor of water in it. So it's really felt like water is like, for us, I think, is like the medium of change.
It is, like, and I think and that's just me going off, like whenever I, like, you know how people like go to nature to find like connectedness or like just like a reset, recharge, like, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I can go to like the forest and be fine, go on a hike, whatever, but I never feel more recharged than I do when I like hit the water. Like if I'm swimming, if I'm taking a shower, if I just let water run on me for like however, yeah,
you're good. You're set.
Funnily enough, and I say that in my poem called Rain. Rain has always been weird for me.
Rain has been weird for you. Because
while rain can be cleansing, I have like like getting caught in the rain is always
oh my god.
New York rain is never fun.
Yeah.
But then there's some rains that are just like like the rain after like the hottest day of the summer. And you're just like, yes, give me all of that.
Yeah.
You know, so there's just different perspectives of how you can see like these things.
Yeah, and I think also anything, and you can name anything, it'll have a good and a bad to it, right? Or like a positive or a negative.
No matter how much you see yourself as a hero, you can always be the villain of someone else's story.
That's crazy. Yeah. So there's good and bad in everything, depending on your perspective. Right? So it's really the perspective, not really the situation itself. Because even like that really good rain for you, that really might mess up someone else's day. It was just like, it's the worst thing, but for you it's the best thing. So what I was writing, and he can attest to this, this is all new stuff that I just wrote down. And I want to take this time to sincerely apologize, was the last line I had. So it says, I'm sorry that before I worked on me, I took it out on you. All my pains, frustrations, stresses, and made-up situations that put me in a bad place where I was destructive instead of instead of beautiful creations. Creating with you, listening to you, vibing with you, all I was doing was attacking you. I'm sorry for what I put you through. So for me, it's an apology letter to everyone in my life that I felt like, because I wasn't in a good place for a very long time, and a lot of people said, well, I've never noticed that. It doesn't matter, like, even though, thank you for not noticing, I suppose, whatever, but it's more like I was in a bad place and I acknowledge I was in a bad place. And I think about, like, all those times I was in a bad place, was I the best person I was? And if I wasn't, was I being destructive or negative or hurting someone else? Because a proper engine can't function really well. So I wonder how much hurt I've given to people, and how much because I wasn't working on myself, because I wasn't focusing on me, how much I put out into the situation.
I think a lot of that is, there's you reflecting is a conscious effort of you making those changes and efforts now.
Yeah.
But also for people not to notice, it either didn't affect them or it was inward,
Yeah, and I could totally tell you it was I was very implosive, but I feel when you are implosive, you're still messing you up, and if you're messing you up, how can you be awesome for other people? Yeah. That's how I feel. I'm not as awesome at 100. So I was all those missed not at 100s, I feel like I could have done better. But that's fine.
Do you also feel like...
I don't linger on it. I just notice it.
Do you also feel like...
I did linger on it.
You didn't allow yourself the bad days?
I feel like I just wasn't in a good place and I wasn't aware of it. I was, when you jump in a pool and it's super cold, but minutes later it's warm because you got acclimated to it. Acclimated for 20 years, or 10 years.
So it wasn't I had a bad day.
No, I felt like I had
let it pass through.
Really not bad, but a not healthy lifestyle for a decade.
Okay.
For myself.
Yeah.
Just for myself.
Fellas, not to interrupt y'all, but whenever y'all get up and leave, can can you put these chairs just the way like
Yeah,
that?
absolutely.
Thank you, bro. I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah,
it.
yeah.
No problem.
I don't want to interrupt y'all.
All good.
No worries.
Love the tattoos, by the way.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, so like being in a place where I'm not treating myself well, not eating well, not sleeping well, constantly being negative to myself. I wonder if I'm doing that to myself, how am I not doing it to other people? Or how am I not at least projecting that onto other people in some way? I don't know. Like, it's a hard question to ask because a lot of people say to me, oh, well, you seem very happy. You seem like nothing bothers you. And I'm like, cool. And to some effect, I try not to let things bother me. But I was always at like not 100% capacity. I know I wasn't. I could 100% know that. So this was actually a fun exercise. I never listen to music while I write music. Ever.
I feel like that's hard to do though.
Yeah, but it was fun.
You know,
it was fun. It gave me the freedom to not just hear what I'm hearing in my own head, but to hear something else.
Okay.
That's what it did for me for that moment. Would I do it every moment?
Like I wish I was able to edit video with music. I can edit photography with music, but video is harder because then I have to listen. I'm like, I can play it in the background, but I'm also kind of paying attention to it.
Yeah.
So I'm not paying attention to what I need to focus on.
But for writing, you put on some lo-fi and you go.
I'm good to go.
So it's funny. You write? I never listen to music when I write. It's the first time I listened to music, and I'm gonna try it again too. It was fun. And
I would like to see you try it without writing for music to sing. So like
even just like a journal, like just whatever.
Journal or short story. I would say lean into a story. I think a story would music can kind of dictate where the pen goes.
I'm gonna try it. I'll try it tomorrow.
I'm doing it
tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm doing it tomorrow. Okay, we'll end with 1 minute of silence.
Sure.
And just end this. Ready? I'm not gonna put a timer on. Just close your eyes and feel it. I kept my eyes open just because sometimes I can and sometimes I can't. I felt like this time I could. So that's the end. So to sum up, if you want to start being productive, or something that can be helpful towards being productive, is putting on some lo-fi music in the background and just letting the pen.
Just any instrumental music at all.
Any sound that's pleasing to you, and just start writing. Setting aside time for not needing the goal. What was it, 5 paragraphs? You don't need a number. You just need to do it for X amount of time.
Right.
So it's it feels like a lower
threshold for
threshold for reward. Right. So you don't need to force yourself to write 5 paragraphs. You just need to write for 30 minutes. Right. And for me, I wanted to keep writing as soon as that 5 minutes came. So it wasn't enough time. So it put me in a state of flow, but I was fine with talking and doing that because it happened naturally. If you have any suggestions for creativity, exercises, prompts, if you'd like to join the video and also do something with me that Lawrence just did, please send me a message. Any final thoughts for you? Don't feel forced to have a final thought.
Well, the final thought was, I'm glad you're doing this.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for you to keep going.
Every day. And that's it.
Bye, guys.
Oh.